All right, all right, all right. Time to get straight into it. Hold up, I think you can hear me over. Okay, cool, cool. Making sure people over at Wisdom can hear me. Make sure to download the Wisdom app because that's the app I go live on whenever I'm doing audio content such as this, breaking down the latest hip hop and gaming, along with any other type of audio content. Wisdom is the platform to download, so definitely download it on whatever on your app store. I forget what it's called. I think if you just type in the Wisdom app, you should see it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Um, we're gonna get started in just a second. I'm trying to pull everything up. I think I have everything up for the most part. I'm pretty sure y'all can hear me. Shout out to people coming in over at Wisdom. I appreciate y'all taking the time out of your what is now morning to listen to me break down the latest hip hop tracks. We definitely have a lot to get into, as you can see in the title. We will be saving some of the more prominent names in the title for the end, so just stick around for that. But best believe me, we have a lot more to get into. I mean, I didn't even put Lotto in the title, and that's a lot of controversy in itself, so we have a lot to get into, so just stick around and we're going to talk about the latest drops of in hip-hop and pop, I guess. As always, make sure to download the Wisdom app. That's the app I use to go live for when I'm doing audio content. As always, for my people over at Kick and YouTube, you will get some video elements. I see some people already coming in over at Kick. I definitely appreciate y'all taking the time out of your morning to listen to me break down the latest hip hop tracks. Make sure to hit that follow button to be notified when I go live. And also, if you miss any portion of this stream, just follow my podcast, which is Notorious Mass Effect, on whatever platform you listen to podcasts on, and you'll be able to catch it there, as I will upload this after the fact to whatever platform you listen to podcasts at, and it's under Notorious Mass Effect. So if you type in Notorious Mass Effect, it'll definitely pop up. All right, so let's get straight into it. So yeah, I definitely appreciate the people over there. As far as YouTube, I didn't look at YouTube. Let me. Okay, so I have that pulled up on Restream, so I should see if anybody comments on YouTube. So don't feel left out. If you want to comment, I'll definitely be here to answer whatever you want to say. For the most part, let's get straight into it. Let's get straight into it. See what this looking like. Okay, let me pull this up. Alrighty. Okay. Bring up my soundboard. You know, y'all was saying I need to use my soundboard more, and let me tell you, I gotta find the right places to put it. But I got a pretty interesting sound effect that I think y'all will enjoy when we start talking about Gunna, and hopefully y'all already know what that means. But that basically means we finna really get into it. So hopefully people over at Wisdom can hear me. I'm looking at the levels right now. It looks right as far as YouTube and Kick. Of course, I think y'all hear me. I mean, this mic is way closer to me. So in that sense, I think everybody should be able to hear me now. If not, make sure to comment or just join in if you're over at Wisdom to let me know. So anyways, we finna get started. But definitely appreciate everybody taking the time out of the morning to listen to me break down the latest hip hop and gaming. So let's get right into it. So let me see. What are we gonna start with? You know, so much to get into. So let me see. Let me bring this up. Okay, so we can't start with Metro because that's in the title. So if you don't know, and I see some people still joining in over at Wisdom, I definitely appreciate y'all. But for the most part, we're going to be getting into a lot of different topics, but a lot of music did drop. So I kind of want to start with AI, but I also want to start with some drama. So we're going to start with some drama. So we're going to cover Lotto first because she wasn't in the title, but I definitely got a lot to say when it comes to that situation. And then we're going to get into Carol G, and then a pretty interesting topic that I'm going to save it until y'all see it. But yeah, what is that topic at? All right. Okay, I want to make sure this is right. Okay, when I put this up, I want y'all to be able to see it. So is that too big? That may be too big. Actually, that's way too small. Wow, that's using the whole screen. All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna figure this out. Um, I wouldn't necessarily say this is a technical difficulty, but we definitely got make sure y'all can see this. Wow, this is humongous. Okay, last time it wasn't this complicated. How do y'all see it? Can y'all see that? Y'all can see that. Okay, cool. We're just gonna use this. Yeah, hopefully that's not too crazy for y'all. Um, wow, that's everything up there. Okay, we can't have it looking like that. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna have to do this manually. Trying to figure out how I want to do this. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna stretch the screen like I did last time. I think that worked. Oh, hold up. Uh-oh, I did something I wasn't supposed to do. Can I bring that back? I don't even know what that is. What is that? What am I controlling right now? Anyways, I swear we're about to start in a second. I swear. I promise you we're about to start in a second. Let's make this a little bigger. How does that look? That looks alright, but let's make it a little bit bigger. Y'all not seeing what I'm doing. It's really just for the visual aspect for the YouTube and Kick people. But best believe me, y'all gonna want to see this. Let's see, let's put it right there. Okay, cool. So that should work. So let's take this back to a normal zoom. So it doesn't look like I'm trying to fill up an entire stadium with this article. Cool. There we go. Give me 1 second. Let's get the. Hold on, I'm trying to see. How do I take this off? Can I cut that? There we go. All right, cool. There we go. Yeah, I had some personal information up there. I couldn't have that. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's get straight into it. And by straight into it, I mean I'm still figuring this out. I would use 12 foot. Maybe I should use 12 foot. Let me come back over here. But anyways, for the people over at Wisdom joining, how was y'all day? Technically, well, how was yesterday? I guess technically. And in general, do y'all care about this Cardi and Nicki beef, or is it just old news to y'all? Cause I ain't gonna lie, this is pretty entertaining. Cause at the end of the day, I feel like hip hop is like bred off of beef, but I think with Nicki and Cardi, it's to the point where it's like strictly just words and not action. So I think that's the best type of beef. As we've seen in hip hop, it get to a certain stage, and let's just hope. Well, I don't think it's gonna get to that stage with Cardi and Nicki, but we gonna see. Let me see. Okay, cool. All right, let's see what this article looks like over here. Let me take that right quick. Also, I see people coming in over at Kick. Make sure to download the Wisdom app if you want an easier way to access and be a guest to maybe end up on the podcast. It's definitely one of the incentives to being over at Wisdom. It's very easy to join in as a guest. And with that being said, I think I'm ready to go because 12 foot did not work for this article. So that's fine though. Something else I wanted to bring up. Okay. All right. Let me look at this right quick. Is the stream running well? Okay. All right, cool. I was just making sure. Minaj. All right. Okay. Let's get into this first topic with Lotto and Cardi B, which inherently just has the Nicki beef written all over it. But anyways, let's get into it. Oh, for the new people, first off, I want to thank y'all for being here. You know, checking out. If it is your first time checking out the podcast live, this is like the live edition. So if you're not able to catch the whole thing, just click my link tree in my bio, and it'll give you a direct link to whatever platform you listen to podcasts on, and it'll be uploaded there after the fact. So in general, right now it's just like the live edition. So it's going to be a lot of intermission between each and every song review. So if you're not used to that, or if that bothers you, just know after the fact it'll be uploaded to my podcast, of course, with the edits already in. So anyways, let's get into it right now. So Lotto is back again to claim the throne as the best woman rapper in the game, which nowadays can be considered, or it's a debate on her being one of the best rappers in general in the game, as she's came back with a pretty popular artist, I might add, for her remix, Put It On the Flow. And you have to say it with the D, because if you put it with the TH, I believe it loses its oomph, which is not actually a word, but I'm gonna use it to describe what I'm trying to say right now. So basically, Put It On the Flow is kind of like a poking the bear type situation. You know, shout out to Dylan Brooks. But if you don't know, Lotto and Nicki Minaj is currently beefing, and why, man, nobody knows. Honestly, I was gonna look it up, but everybody knows that the more spicy beef and the more beef with notoriety, I can't even say the word, but it's Cardi B and Onika Tanya Mirage. As everybody knows, that situation back in September 2018, when at the Harper's Bazaar Fashion Week, out of all places, Cardi B and Nicki got into a little scuffle, you know, just a little bit of a scuffle, and they was throwing heels back and forth like they was trying to tell each other what to wear. You know what I mean? Like they was just throwing clothing items at one another. You would have thought they was just best friends, the way that they was just trying to showcase the latest outfit. So anyways, right now we have a new rendition of the beef, or just a new addition to the beef, as Put It On the Flow remix has Cardi rapping out of her mind. And I mean, recently Cardi's been a little quiet. For all my Cardi fans out there, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But last time she tried to come out with the hit single, literally had Kanye West and Lil Durk, and still somehow flopped. I don't understand how that happened. I think maybe it's a little Kendrick-ish, the way that Cardi thought her fan base was going to react to the single. As she was away for a little bit, she came back with a single, and I think she expected the same amount of support as Kendrick got from Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. But as far as the single, it was just not that. Like, as far as the single that she put out with Lil Durk and Kanye West, all I gotta say is look up the title to that song with Cardi B, Kanye West, and Little Dirk, and that was the exact description of the quality of the song. But anyways, we're focusing on this Put It On the Flow remix, as they are really talking their stuff, and it's really because of the beef with Nicki Minaj, as Lotto's recent beef with Nicki Minaj, Cardi's long standing beef with Nicki Minaj has kind of catapulted into this type of remix, as it made almost perfect sense for them to collab on a petty track, which is definitely poking the bear at all her haters when referring to Lotto. And another thing I have to say about Lotto is I think that she's probably one of the best rappers in the game currently, as Lotto and her appeal, her uniqueness, and taking away the whole it's a 10 on mute, shout out to the GOAT. But when it comes to Lotto, that couldn't be farther from the truth, as her lyrical ability definitely matches her outside appearance. Let's just say it. Let's just put it like that. But anyways, the track is pretty solid. I listened to it a bunch of times. Had to catch the subs. It just came out, so I may have not been able to catch all the subs. But all I know is when Cardi B came on, she was talking spicy, and I mean in a way that made you feel like, okay, well, she obviously knows that Nicki Minaj is going to listen to this track. And guess what? She probably will be. So, anyways, I pulled up the one with just Lotto. So if I could pull up the one with Lotto and Cardi B, let me see if I can find that one. It's really just showing me the one with Lotto. But anyways, the one with Cardi B, I should probably put remix. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm put a remix. And I'm not editing this out either. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta go with the flow. But anyways, okay. So this is the one with Cardi B, right? And then Cardi B came out the gate just shooting. And some people may say it's not a direct shot at her, but anyways, she says, "Put your bestie in a pack. Now I'm smoking on her too." Now, if I was a betting man, I would say she's probably referring those bars or aiming those bars at Ice Spice. Now I know, why we perpetuating beef, but at the end of the day, we have to put two and two together. And even though Ice Spice is on outside appearances not harming or not trying to insult anybody, she had to catch a stray simply because of her affiliation with Onika Tanya Mirage. I mean, Cardi B literally started out the track saying, "I ain't smoking on no za, little expletive, I'm smoking on you. Put your bestie in a pack, and now I'm smoking her too." Who could those bars be attributed to on a beef track when Lotto and Cardi B has a common antagonist who just crowned a new artist, a new up and coming artist, I might add? It's just the perfect recipe for a battle. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna call it a battle because, unlike the Notorious and Tupac situation, I don't think this will get violent in any stretch of the imagination, nor do I want it to get violent. And so I'm glad it's just put in music in a way to let them know that, hey, you picked your side, now you just gotta stand on it. And honestly, I think if Cardi B reached out to Ice Spice for a collab, I think she would do it. But I did say, if you go back to my, shameless plug, if you go back to my Ice Spice Princess Diana remix with Nicki Minaj, I did say that I ended that segment saying, "Do you think Nicki Minaj will let Ice Spice accept a Cardi B feature?" And now I think it's clear what that answer is with this type of track. I mean, Cardi B came out shooting. Obviously, she didn't say a name, but neither did Nicki or Ice Spice on Princess Diana remix. And I think in general, Lotto and Cardi B together is definitely a better duo than Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice. It's simply for the fact that Nicki Minaj is one of the best rappers I think of all time, but Ice Spice really has just one flow, so Nicki can't carry the whole entire song. And so as far as Lotto and Cardi B, they both did their thing on Put It on the Flow remix. Obviously, Princess Diana remix was a standout on the Ice Spice debut album, but as far as like commercial appeal, I think Lotto and Cardi B has them beat by a mile. No disrespect to Nicki, it's just I don't think Ice Spice is on Lotto's level yet, and I don't think that Nicki laps Cardi enough to make up for the Ice Spice level of lyricism that she's spewing at the direction of Onika Tanya Mirage. So click my link in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. Am I reaching talking about this beef between Cardi B, Lotto versus Ice Spice and Nicki, or do you think I'm on to something with this Put It on the Flow remix? Okay, shout out to people still tuning, coming in over at Wisdom. Definitely appreciate you taking the time out of your morning to listen to me break down the latest records. We will be getting to the people in the title. Usually, I say to save that for last, but we have a lot to get into in general. So you know, it's gonna be you're definitely gonna be well informed whenever you leave this. And also, make sure to hit that follow button to be notified when I go live, as I do cover the latest hip hop and gaming. So if you want to stay up to date with that, if that's something you're interested in, then definitely join the masses, as we just surpassed 624,000 total downloads in just 6 months under Red Circle for the podcast. So if you want to join the masses, my link tree is in my bio. But without further ado, let's cover Burna Boy. Let me bring this over here. Okay. Yeah, let's get into Burna Boy. Is that close enough for y'all over at YouTube and Kick? Yeah, that's good now. All right, cool. When it comes to titles, I think Burna Boy is probably one of the better artists when putting actual thought into putting a title on a single, because in general his quality is on another level. I think that Burna Boy is probably one of the best artists in his genre, which is not saying too much, I guess, because as far as the genre in general compared to the hip hop field, or just in compared to the pop field, obviously he has his little, well, not little, you know, don't want to disrespect Burna Boy, but he has his own country that he represents. So he has that whole fan base now coming over to America as more of a double dipping in the fan base. It kind of reminds me of when overseas NBA players come over to America and they're super nice, kind of like Luka Doncic, and they just have additional fans from the United States when they already have fans in his hometown, which is Nigeria, I believe, for Burna Boy. But anyways, he just dropped a new single called "Sitting on Top," and let me tell you, it's straight fire. I don't think Burna Boy has ever dropped a track and it was fire. I mean, Afro fusion has to be one of those genres that Burna Boy is just one of the more recognizable names within, because he's just a hit maker. Quality is on a whole nother level when you compare him to other Afro artists, and in general is it samples, and this is a big deal. It samples 1998 Brandy song that also features the rapper Mace, and that song is titled "Top of the World." So it's not one of those type of just straight ripping off a classic. Is really giving a nod and a homage, if that's the way you say it, to Brandy and her hit song "Top of the World." And last year, Burna Boy was going crazy. I mean, he was with Rihanna's Savage Fenty Volume 4, I believe, and then he was at the Dreamville Music Festival. He was performing at the 2023 NBA All Star Game halftime show, and that was just a little slice of what he's been doing in the United States, as he's definitely been running it up in his own region. And the reason I even bring up Burna Boy is because I don't think he just gets his just due as being one of the best Afro artists in the business. As you know, people sometimes talk about Wizkid, some people talk about Tim's, and then people be like, "Oh, he's in a whole different genre by himself. He can't even compare to them." And I'm just like, I'm pretty sure they're in the same genre, but hey, maybe I'm tripping. So I think Burna Boy is just one of those artists that he's no laughing matter. Definitely a monster, a mammoth in this music industry. Very talented, and a lot more respect has to be put on his name. But if you do want to put more respect on his name, definitely check out his new single titled "Sitting on Top of the World," which definitely samples, once again, the Top of the World track from 1998 Brandy. So if you want to listen to both of those, that is the title of the Top of the World is the title of the song he sampled from Brandy, and the original, well, the single from Burna Boy is "Sitting on Top of the World." So obviously it's homage to Brandy, which, you know, if you've heard Brandy, you know why these modern day artists are making music and sampling hers, because she is just one of the more vocally talented artists I've ever heard in my life. So, anyways, Burna Boy sitting on top of the Afro Beats game once again. Click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. Will you be planning on checking out his single titled "Sitting on Top of the World"? And if you do, or if you already did, do you think it's fire or trash? All right, all right. Now let's get into Carol G. Also, I'm kind of running through these songs like I usually do. But if anybody's new, which I see people still coming in over at the Wisdom app, also for my people over at YouTube and Kick, make sure to download the Wisdom app to be able to. Hold on, give me one second. I'm trying to put this in focus for y'all. Okay, make sure to download the Wisdom app to have the option to join in as a guest to give your perspective. It's definitely a safe space, open dialogue. I always welcome new perspectives as long as it's respectful, of course. But anyways, yeah, I just want to say that for the new people, so you don't feel like um, if you want to say something, you can't, but you can. Hopefully, that wasn't like confusing. If it was, then oh well. Not just playing. All right, let's get into Carol G. Carol G is back again, bringing the reggaeton energy with her new track titled "Watati." Watati or Watati. I think that's how you say it. What type of Takashi 69 title is this? But anyways, this is a reggae titled track, and if you're wondering why Carol G is putting out Lucy like this, like and it's more of a playful single. It's simply for the fact that it's part of the Barbie soundtrack, which I believe that movie is out now, if I'm not mistaken. And in general, whenever a song opens with a phone call, you already know it's going to be straight heat. And with Carol G, she really doesn't disappoint. Her fan base probably is just more delighted than ever to see that she just dropped new music because her consistency with quality is really something is really a sight to behold, and she's a sight to behold as when the looks match the quality as far as when it comes to women. Because Drake, on the other hand, he just says it's a 10 on mute, but over here we respect women a little bit more. So I think that Carol G is just a talented artist in general, and her quality definitely matches and may even surpass in some people's eyes her looks. So anyways, this track is a single titled Watiti. If you Watati, I don't even know. I think it's Watati. I don't even know. It's Watati. If you wanted to look it up yourself. But single from Carol G, part of the Barbie compilation album or soundtrack. Sorry, I feel like compilation soundtracks is a little different. So it's the Barbie soundtrack album. And earlier this week, they teased the track over on TikTok, I believe, and it was a clip of Ken, who's played by Ryan Gosling, and Barbie, who's obviously played by Margot Robbie. I think that's how you say her name. Um, rollerblade rollerblading through Venice Beach in Los Angeles. So that was like the promo before they actually dropped the single. And it follows the Dua Lipa Dance the Night. So you already know this is a highly produced soundtrack for the actual movie. So if the movie can live up to this type of music that they're producing, then you're already in for a treat, because it has if I wanted to run through, okay, I do have the track list. So the track list right now, you have Lizzo, Dua Lipa, and I'm talking about the Barbie album track list. You have Lizzo, Dua Lipa, Nicki Minaj. Oh, I kind of see what they're doing right here. Lizzo, Dua Lipa, Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice, Carol G, and the kill. Oh, okay, so it was kind of starting out with the women artists, and then they kind of mix some more in. But I believe if the Barbie soundtrack wanted to, they could have just gathered all the women artists in the game like the Avengers and just had them on one soundtrack, and that would have been fire. But I guess since Ken is also in the movie, we have to have a little bit of respect for the guys, I guess. And then so we have Ryan Gosling, of course. I think he's actually acting in the movie, so he's probably just singing because the title is "I'm Just Ken." So it's probably like one of them, dance type soundtracks where High School Musical type vibe where he's just gonna bust out singing in the middle of the movie. So that's on the soundtrack. They also have the Kid Leroy, Khalid, Pink Panthers. I don't know. Gail and Ava Max, 50/50, and who else? and Haim, Haim. I don't know who that is. But anyways, so you see they have a bunch of heavy hitters on the track list, and just having another single with Carol G just is icing on the cake after a successful single from Dua Lipa, which was called Dance the Night. So click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about Carol G dropping a new Lucy titled Watati for the Barbie soundtrack, and will you be giving it a listen? All right. Shout out to the people joining in over at Wisdom right now. Just know we're getting to the latest music that just dropped. We just finished covering Lotto, Burner Boy, and then just now Carol G. If you heard that, and if you missed any portion of this, just know you can click my link tree in my bio, and it will give you a direct link to whatever you listen to, whatever platform you use to listen to podcasts on, as this will be uploaded there after the fact. But this is the live rendition, so it's a lot of intermission in between these song reviews. But let's see what we're going to review next. Let me see. Let me see. Should we get into AI? Let's do AI. Let's go and get into AI. You already know we gotta start with the GOAT. Like, come on now. Like, is it really AI music review without talking about the GOAT? Like, that's what I really want to know. Okay, that one. They're playing an ad right now. But anyways, shout out to the 8 people we have right now. Hopefully your day is going well, an hour or two, depending on what time zone you're in, until your day. Hopefully it's going great. Hopefully it's going well. If you're up listening to me, just know you're well informed. That's for one. You're definitely well informed on the latest hip hop drop. So you'll be able to talk about it, to your coworkers or whatever, whenever you have to get up. But in general, appreciate y'all for taking time out of your morning to listen to me break down the latest hip hop tracks. And we're gonna keep it rolling in a second. Gotta let the ads roll, of course. Let me see. Money fast. Too many time. Which one do we want to do? Okay, how many? I never do this, but let's just look at the views. 26, 26, and then yeah, let's do this one. All right, so let me get one more AI. I'm trying to pull this up somewhere over here. Oh, okay. Yeah, the 5-year one and then the Juice WRLD one. Cool. There we go. 5-year. Okay, cool. Let's start. Let's start with Drake, of course, because everybody be acting like this man. Everybody be acting like this man Gunna a snitch, but guess what? He ain't snitch on me. Nah, I just play my fault. All right, my fault. All right, we're gonna tighten up. Let me pull this over here right quick. All right, I should be able to see it now, hopefully. Is that close enough for y'all? I think it is. Cool. Yeah, cool. Oh, academics is live right now. That's crazy. Do y'all know? Fun fact: my name, the first name of my like made up name, of course, is analytic, based off academics, of course, and then dreams is from RDC World. So the more you know. So academics is live right now. I kind of feel like, dang, must be nice. Like in general, to see one of your main inspirations, because at this point I would say the podcast is definitely a success. Like I was just saying earlier, we just surpassed 624,000 total downloads in just 6 months under Red Circle for the podcast. So I would say that this is a success so far. So if you look up Notorious Mass Effect on whatever platform you listen to podcasts on, you'll definitely see it. But yeah, so it's going strong. But it just makes me want to put in more work because people are actually supporting. So, anyways, with that being said, I don't want to waste too much time. Let's get straight into. Let's get straight into this one. How does this one sound? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna mute that. Y'all should still be able to hear me. But I'm gonna listen to the track right quick. All right, we ain't doing that one. We're listening to this one. So let me listen to this one. Um, all right, cool. I don't think we get taken down for this music video. Hopefully not. All right, I should be able to hear it now. Let me mute this up again. Cool. Let's get right now. With the evolution of AI technology, we've gotten to the point where certified rats can make music with certified goats in the music industry, because that's just what we have right here in the new track with Drake and Gunna titled Switch. I mean, also, it features Don Toliver. You know, don't want to be disrespectful to the boy that just dropped Lovesick. You know, definitely go check out that album. He's probably one of the more talented artists when it comes to creating melodies. But in general, what I really want to focus on is the hesitation to acknowledge that Gunna is a free man in society. Now, you would have thought that Gunna was just a menace to society, the way that all these other A-list artists who used to be hugged up with Gunna is just acting like he's just bottom, he's just scum beneath scum of the earth. You know, it's almost like telling on people who commit crimes is a bad thing. But for law-abiding citizens like myself, I don't care. So I'm glad somebody took it upon themselves to use the AI technology to give us more Gunna music, because obviously right now Gunna just put out a new track which we will be covering. If you listen to this after the fact, I already covered it. Just type in Gunna bread and butter. But in general, for the people listening live, also shout out to y'all. Shameless plug. Download the Wisdom app to listen to me go live on audio. But anyways, evolution of technology has given us Gunna and Drake once more. If you don't know, Gunna and Drake is like the dynamic duo. I remember listening to them on his album, and boy, when I tell you, those sound effects was the first time I ever heard guys be like it was a little bit too much. Like, if you listen to the sound effects, look at the comment section, and everybody was like, you know, it's a fire track, but you know what it could have did without? Those noises in the background. And if you listen to the track, you definitely would know what I'm talking about. All I'm gonna say is it's called P Power, and it's for a reason. And those sound effects, they were wild. They was wilding whenever they made that track. Like, I don't know if they was just on a certain type of anime mode where they was just straight horny, but they really need to control themselves whenever they in the studio together, because I don't know what made them use that sound effect over and over and over, but if you listen to that track, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, it was fire. Whenever Drake and Gunna collabs, is usually fire. I don't think they've ever had a miss whenever they're together, so I'm glad with the use of AI technology, we finally have another Drake and Gunna track, because without another collab from those two, I don't know what I would do. I think Gunna is like, if it wasn't for 21 Savage, I would have liked Drake to make a whole collab tape with Gunna. That would have been so fire. But in general, of course, Gunna already made a collab tape with Lil Baby. They probably would have accused Drake of just copying Lil Baby's whole like formula. But I think if you switched out 21 Savage and Gunna, we may have even had a more fire collab album on our hands. Even though Her Loss was completely a classic in my eyes, I still think Drake and Gunna has never missed, just like 21 Savage, but you know, just on a more sustainable level. Because Never Recover with Drake, Gunna, and Lil Baby to this day is one of my favorite tracks of all time. Like, if you listen to Never Recover, the beat, the way that Drake came on, pause, the way that Gunna was rapping, Lil Baby was rapping, like, just the chemistry is undeniable. And I really would love to see more music from Drake and Gunna, but I guess because he quote unquote snitched on non-law abiding citizens, allegedly, because I don't know what type of lawyers Young Thug has. You know, I don't want them pulling up on me. But anyways, let's just say that Gunna telling on the bad guys is never a bad thing in my eyes. So anyways, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. Hopefully you listen to this track. Of course, I may or may not have the link to the song in the description below. But Drake and Gunna, produced by AI, of course. And the title is called Switch if you're going to look it up. But in general, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think of the song? And if you've already heard it, do you think it was fire or trash? All right. Let's get into the next one. I don't know which meme it was, but I feel like Bradley Bill said it. But I feel like it pertains to this track as I ain't never seen you act like this before. Obviously, it says AI generated, but at this point, I'm thinking this is just a straight up leaked track from October's very own because this man was rapping like he had somewhere to be. And obviously, I'm talking about the Too Many Times AI track from Drake. And the way that he comes on, the little interlude in the middle, the way he comes back on the track, I'm like, hold up now. Now, I know AI technology is getting to the point where we can't differentiate what's real and what's fake, but this man is sliding all over this beat, and the interlude is perfect for what he's talking about. And then when he comes back in, he hops on the same flow and going even crazier. So I'm thinking to myself, what if Drake, to get around his loophole in the contract, is throwing out Lucy's in the form of AI leaks through other creators just so he doesn't have to split the profits with Universal Music Group? I mean, it's something to think about. If I was under contract and there was a loophole to where I could put out music whenever I want to and get 100% of the royalties, I would myself make a whole YouTube channel, hire a bunch of AI ghostwriters, and tell them, hey, I get this percentage, you get that percentage, you sign an NDA. Because if you tell Universal Music Group, you know they're going to be on Drake. They're going to be like, you did what? So I think if I was a betting man, some of these artists are going to start their very own AI ghostwriters camp. They're going to put them all in the little AI, booth, in which, there was already jokes about that OVO sweatshop. So all you gotta do is get all the AI ghostwriters, put them in a room together, and be like, "Hey, make me a hit. I'ma put this out under your channel." And I get, a certain split of the royalties. You get a certain split, and guess what? We all gonna be rich at the end of the day because this is free music from the boy. And Universal Music can't do anything because they can't differentiate if it's Drake or not. So technically, Universal Music Group can take it down if you use Drake's likeness and name. But on the other hand, the way to subvert that, I think that's the word, you could change the name, obviously, to like fake rake or lake, so like something crazy, which is like obvious, like some NCAA Madden stuff, like back in the day. If you ever played that game, you know what I'm talking about. But just change the name a little bit. Obviously, don't use Drake's face. Probably use like some heart emoji or something like that, some soft that people relate Drake to. And then be like, hey, write me a hit and we going to split these royalties. And I think that would be the best way to go out, as this AI wave is insane. And I think 2023 is just a wave of making the best AI songs possible and letting the actual artist recognize you for your writing talent. Like your talent with the pen is going to be highlighted exponentially more now that you can actually attach these artists' voice to the actual lyrics. So it's a gift and a curse, but I think it's only a curse to people who aren't talented and creative. Because I think with any sort of evolution, the person who uses the evolution in the most creative way possible is the one who's going to get the most profit at the end of the day. And that's where I think we're seeing with this AI wave, with all these fire tracks coming out. So click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. I may or may not have the Drake AI Too Many Times track in my description box below. I may not have the link to it. I don't know. But you may have to check to go, find out. But anyways, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about all these AI Drake tracks? And do you think that these tracks are fire or trash? All right, shout out to people over at Wisdom coming in with have 9 right now. Definitely appreciate y'all tuning in live. As you know, the live rendition has a little breaks in between, so I appreciate y'all for sticking with me through that. Also, if you miss any portion of this, definitely will be uploaded after the fact to my whatever platform you listen to podcasts on. Just type in Notorious Mass Effect or click my link tree in my bio, and it'll give you a direct link to my podcast. So, anyways. All right, let's get into Mr. Foreign. Because now this is not even an AI track. This is just something unreleased. Like Kanye probably told him he can't put this out. So, anyways, let's get into Kanye. How you spell Fabio? Fabio Foreign. Off the grid numbers. I wanna see what these numbers are looking like. Okay, cool. Now I'm no betting man, but I'm willing to put 2 pennies on Kanye West telling this man that he can't put out this track at all. Because there's no way that Fabio Foreign put out a whole track with Kanye West only on YouTube. What this man think he is, NBA YoungBoy? But anyways, obviously YB's better. But putting the pettiness to the side, everybody knows the iconic collaboration at this point called Off the Grid from Kanye West, Playboi Carti, and Fabio Foreign. It was a huge success, of course, and it was just one of those type of tracks that just ran up the numbers. I mean, it was the most streamed song in the United States on Spotify for 2 weeks in a row. I mean, it was the most viewed music video on YouTube in the United States for 2 weeks in a row. And it was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Rap Performance. And if I was a betting man once again, I would put 3 pennies on them getting the nomination for Grammy Best Rap Performance simply for the fact that Fabio Foreign went ballistic for like 3 to 4 minutes straight. I mean, he just went on a 16 to 32 bar tantrum and he tore up the whole track. Obviously, Playboi Carti's ad-libs added to the overall effects of the track. The way that the beat started off, the way that Kanye West came in. I mean, he said this for my kids. You know what I mean? Like he was really just talking that billionaire talk. And then Fabio Foreign come on, like you never heard him before and will never hear him again because I don't know what happened, but as soon as Kanye stopped producing his music, this man just forgot how to rap entirely. But anyways, Off the Grid was just such a great track. Fabio was bringing out his best Jesus bars possible, which every artist is doing that on Donda, but Fabio especially, which is why he got the nomination for best rap performance. I mean, obviously it was Off the Grid, but come on now, like who was it? Who was the rap nomination really for? So, anyways, the reason I bring that up is because Fabio Foreign put out a new track called Concussion with Kanye West, and it's only on his YouTube, which is very weird. It's not on DSPs. Makes me think that Kanye didn't clear it. But maybe I'm reaching, maybe Fabio just felt like only having the streams on YouTube and not making any money off any of the DSPs. Maybe he just doesn't like to generate revenue. Maybe that's what it is. That's maybe why he only put it on YouTube. It can't be because there's another insanely popular artist on his track that doesn't want it out. So that's what I think it is. I think that's why it's now on DSPs because I looked even like at this point, at this moment, it may happen later, but it's not on any DSPs from Spotify, Apple Music. There's no DSPs that this track is on. So I think in general that they just chalked it up as a loss and just put it on his YouTube. But at the end of the day, the track is solid. I think Fabio and Kanye West is a pretty good duo. I think Fabio may bring the best. No, I'm not going to go that far. But I do think Fabio probably writes a little bit for Kanye West if I was to give an actual hot take. But as far as production wise, it seemed like once Kanye West left, that beat production went down. He went back to his UK drill beats. I think that's what it is. Once he went back to his UK drill beats, he just lost all inspiration and just started rapping mediocre again. But anyways, so he decided to put out this this Kanye West featured track and only on YouTube because I'm surely like my bet was that Kanye West did not let this man clear it or did not let this man have the say so to put it on DSPs. So click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about Fabio Foreign's career in general? And do you think that he needs Kanye or will his career survive on his own? All right. Let me see. let's get into Mr. World. Oh, shout out to people joining in over at YouTube. YouTube. Shout out to people joining in over at Wisdom, up to 11 right now. I appreciate y'all taking the time out of your morning to listen to me talk about the latest hip hop and gaming. Make sure to hit that follow button to be notified when I go live, as I do always cover the latest hip hop and gaming. And if you do follow, you'll definitely be kept up to date. And if that's something you care about as far as hip hop, I'm definitely the guy to come to. So, anyways. All right, let me look this up right quick. All right, cool. Who would have thunk a man that has over 31.8 million monthly listeners on Spotify would get all these tracks leaked by his fans because they want more? I mean, the guy who made Lucid Dreams, the guy who made All Girls Are the Same, I mean, the guy who made Robbery. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard a heartbreak be put in that type of analogy ever. And I'm not even being dramatic. Like, told me put my heart in the bag and nobody gets hurt. Like, I was hurt listening to that track. I was like, bro, who hurt Juice WRLD? But anyways, we're back again with a new unreleased track from Juice WRLD, which in general, when we're talking about Juice WRLD, we do have to recognize the fact that this man, you know, rest in peace, Juice WRLD. He passed away in 2019, but since then, his streams has gone through the ecosphere. I can't even say the roof. Like, I'm not trying to be one of those type of people, but if you are an artist that's alive looking at the numbers of Juice WRLD, you would think that somebody is putting money into Juice WRLD simply because he passed away. And I'm not trying to say that in no morbid type of way. I'm just saying that this man runs up the numbers so much that it's just like, okay, I mean, we understand a year that he passed. We understand maybe 2 years, but this man passed away in 2019, and he is still one of the most streamed artists on Spotify. Like, do you know how crazy that is for an artist that's actually living, trying to put out music in today's age? Like, if we listen to some of the tracks that he has that are like his top songs, like I said, with Lucid Dreams, All Girls Are the Same, Robbery, his track with Marshmello, that one went crazy, and his collaboration with Uzi, with Wasted, with Ellie Goulding, which that was crazy. Juice WRLD has been probably one of the more popular artists of the modern generation, and him and XXXTentacion comes to my mind when I think about who could have been the leaders of this new generation. Now, I mean, obviously they passed away, rest in peace to X as well, but we have the likes of Rod Wave and Little Baby to lead us in that type of category, and I think they're doing a pretty decent job. But I just think, in general, Juice WRLD and XXXTentacion, which is a whole different beast in itself, and the numbers reflected, even I had to do the math for a second, but even 3 to 4 years after his passing. So, in general, Juice WRLD Lonely is the unreleased track. I may or may not have the link in my description box below. Depends on if they take down his video that I link. But if they didn't, then you can definitely listen to it in my description box. And at the end of the day, man, rest in peace, Juice WRLD. But people are still living and thriving, playing his music, and that's just an interesting sight to see. So click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about Juice WRLD just running up the numbers still after his passing? And do you think that this unreleased track titled Lonely is fire or trash? All right, all right. We getting through these topics, man. This is how I like it right here. I'm not trying to jinx it, but we getting through them. Shout out to the people still rocking with me over at Wisdom. Hopefully y'all enjoying it. Just make sure you hit that follow button if y'all all are enjoying it to be notified when I go live. Also, who's seeing that Spider-Man movie? Y'all try, like, come on now. Like, y'all know I'm a well, y'all probably don't know. If y'all knew, y'all don't know. But I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. Like Spider-Man is my favorite fictional creation of all time. So who's seen that Spider-Man movie? I'm trying to figure this out because I'm definitely going to see it. Technically, it came out like what today, technically, but yesterday, they be having those pre-screenings. I was tempted. If I wasn't if I wasn't a busy man, I would have been right there. But I am a busy man. So, anyways, let's get into Ty Dolla Sign, Migos, Chris Brown, French Montana. Let's do that. Hopefully, that's not too many links. I don't think so. Does it say featuring the baby? It doesn't. Okay, cool. We're just gonna pull this over here. All right, all right. Let me see. Ty Dolla Sign. Okay, let me pull this up right quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, cool. AM to the PM definitely sounds like a Drake track where he's about to drop a 32 bar verse. But instead of a 32 bar verse, we have the likes of Migos and DaBaby on the same track. Yes, the same DaBaby that y'all canceled. And by y'all, I mean me as well because I'm attached to y'all. And let me tell you, DaBaby was wilding out on that stage and he did not take it back. So he's canceled. So probably one of the more prominent artists I ever seen actually get affected by cancel culture. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the Migos in its entirety and to celebrate the Migos when they was actually the Migos and Offset didn't just go off to do his own thing. But anyways, also rest in peace Takeoff. Can never, leave that out. But yeah, Migos, of course, probably one of the more prominent hip hop groups of all time. Now that's not no hot take. I didn't think I was saying a hot take, but I'm just letting y'all know where I'm coming from. One of my favorite groups of all time. Do I think they're the best hip hop group of all time? Probably not. I still think the Outkast was the best group of all time. Especially with Big Boy and the way that he's just underappreciated. I mean, Andre 3000, he definitely gets a lot of flowers, but as far as Big Boy, I think that duo was just one of the best of all time. People always bring up this rap group with what's his name, Rakim, but I forget the name of it. But technically, I think when I looked into it, he wasn't a part of that group for like most of his career, and that's kind of how I look at hip hop groups. Like I think Outkast made most of their music together, and when they branched off, their careers wasn't as long. Not like as far as like they fell off. It was just like they just stopped making music because they went on to do other things. I mean, Big Boy went on to have an iconic scene in ATL, which if you never watched ATL with Ti and Lauren London, then hey, you definitely missing out. But anyways, I really wanted to focus on the Migos and the Baby track, but I also did want to just give my tribute to the Migos, which because with them obviously ending and Quavo saying it can never come back on his song Greatness. It just hurts my heart as I just can't think of any situation where Quavo and Offset will be beefing this long and even after the passing of Takeoff still be so upset at each other to not even want to do any type of music together. Like they could easily put together, they could easily put together some unreleased Takeoff verses and make a whole nother Migos album, and everybody in the industry will be trying to get on the album to show to give them their flowers. But I think something's gonna have to I can't even talk. Something's going to have to happen financially for those two to come together and make that type of move. Because I just think right now Quavo and Offset just have some type of underlying beef that nobody knows about. We think it's Sweetie, but at this point Cardi B denied it, and if she denied it, it's false. Because I'm like, Cardi B would out Offset about any woman that he cheated on with her. No, cheated. with her. No, yeah, y'all get what I'm saying. Cardi B would definitely out Offset. So when she came out and said that, I don't think she was just taking off Offset because I don't think she really cares that much. I mean, if you remember, she actually left Offset like the 50 millionth time he cheated on her, and the only way he got her back because he like put a public display showing up to her concerts, everything, just really honestly like stalking her. And he was like, hey, you gonna have to come back to me one way or another. Like literally when they got back together, Offset was like, I won. Like on a media post, he literally put I won. Like I was like, bro, ain't no way. This man a whole super villain. So anyways, yeah, I think in general, Offset's the reason that the Migos broke up, which I mean, I think it's pretty apparent, but I don't think the general public knows why the Migos broke up. They just think they just felt like making music separately. Like no, Offset wanted to go on his own solo career. Obviously, Quavo and Takeoff under quality control under Atlantic wanted to stick together and make music. So when Offset left, like bought himself out of his deal with the help of Cardi B, of course. Quavo and Takeoff put out that Unconfused album, which is only built for infinity links. And then, Takeoff unfortunately passed away. And then Quavo and Offset never even tried to reconcile. Like, I mean, I don't even know if they tried behind the scenes, but in front of the cameras, they was not looking friendly at all, even at Takeoff's funeral, which is just, it's really a shame to see one of my favorite hip hop groups of all time have an ending like this. So, anyways, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about the AM to PM track featuring the Baby by the Migos? The link may or may not be in my description below. And after listening to the track, come back and let me know. Do you think it's fire or trash? Alrighty, shout out to the 12 people we have right now over at Wisdom. Also, if you're over at Kick or YouTube, make sure to download the Wisdom app, as that's the app I go live on whenever I'm doing audio content. And if you miss any portion of the stream, it'll definitely be uploaded after the fact to my podcast, Notorious, Mass Effect, or whatever platform you listen to podcasts on. But with that being said, let's keep moving. We're gonna let's get into Ty Dolla $ign. Ty Dolla $ign is probably my favorite artist to see as a feature. And that may seem like the weirdest compliment ever. I haven't even started my segment yet. Give me a second. Hold on. Let me save that for my segment because I got something to say about this man. All right, give me 1 second. I think y'all can see it. Y'all can see the article, right? Let me see. Okay, yeah, cool. All right, let's get into it right. And hold up. Should I use 12-foot for this article? Let's see if that works. Give me 1 second. If y'all know about 12-foot, if y'all want to take away ads for y'all articles, definitely use 12-foot. It's like 12foot.io. Straight fire. It kind of worked, I think. No, let me pull over here. I think it worked. How does that look? Nah. Let's just put Ty Dolla $ign's picture up. Let's just do that. Because I had other stuff up, but it's cool. Y'all can just look at his face. Pause. But yeah. All right, let's get into Ty Dolla $ign right now. It's kind of interesting as Ty Dolla $ign is one of those artists where I get really excited for when he's a feature. But when he's dropping his own music and he's dropping his own albums, I don't know why I don't have that same type of infatuation with the way that he creates melodies and just creates music as a whole. I think the last time I really enjoyed an entire project from Ty Dolla $ign was, of course, the Beach House album. And then it was featuring Ty Dolla $ign. No, I'm being so serious. Like the album was literally titled featuring Ty Dolla $ign, and then like I think he just played into the fact that everybody just loves him as a feature artist. Because I thought I was tripping, but it seemed like it was a popular sentiment for most of the hip hop fans in general to see Ty Dolla $ign as a feature, because in general, when you're looking at a Ty Dolla $ign type artist, when you create melodies at the consistency rate with the quality that he does, obviously a lot of prominent artists would reach out for a verse, for a chorus, and just to give vibes in the studio, which is why you see Ty Dolla $ign on albums like Justin Bieber, Drake. I mean, some of the biggest names you can even name, Ty Dolla $ign either wrote for or created a little melody for it to give them a chorus and to give them a little spark. So Ty Dolla $ign is back again with his track called "Motion" and his first song of the year, and it's produced by Will Larson and Strive. I don't even know how you spell it. It's Stryv, and it is directed by Alex Bitton. Hopefully I said that right. But Ty Dolla $ign wanted to give a little insight for his diehard fans out there, saying, quote, "I had to give y'all something fun, something to dance to, something for the summertime. I'm just getting started." Then he went on to say, oh, actually, that was it. Oh no, he went on to say that he will release a new EP this summer. Now, Ty Dolla $ign and summer is like a match made in heaven because this man makes music that is directly reflective of summertime vibes. Ty Dolla $ign's Beach album, I think, is probably one of the better albums to check out if you're not too familiar with Ty Dolla $ign. But in general, this man is probably one of the greatest chorus makers in the game. Like, I always put like Sway Lee up there from Ray Shrimmer when it comes to melodies and finding just certain choruses that just affect the masses, no pun intended. But when we think of Ty Dolla $ign, it's more of a polished sound, I would say, compared to Sway Lee. You know, some people may disagree with me, but at the end of the day, if you look at look at Ty Dolla $ign and some of his like biggest achievements has always been on other people's albums, and simply for the fact that he's able to create a world for that artist that specifically fits them. And I don't know if that makes sense. So let me pull up. I don't know if that exactly makes sense. So let me pull up some of his top tracks. Because in general, I don't think y'all really like know what I'm talking about. Okay, so we have Paranoid, which of course, you know, is his track featuring B.O.B. And then we have Or Nah, which, come on now. Ty Dolla $ign and The Weeknd. I think it was the remix that The Weeknd was on. But anyways, y'all get what I'm saying. The Or Nah remix with Ty Dolla $ign and The Weeknd to this day is one of my favorite R&B tracks. Then you have Blase with Future Ty Dolla $ign. That's definitely a throwback. That's a throwback. Ty Dolla $ign, Future, and Ray Shrimmer. Blase is just straight fire. And then you have the track with y'all definitely heard this one, the Swallow track with Jason Derulo, Nicki Minaj, and Ty Dolla $ign. Just play it, and you definitely have heard it. And not even to mention the Diamond track titled Psycho by Post Malone and Ty Dolla $ign. Like, when this man creates a vibe for other artists, he just knows how to do it like no other artist can. Which is why I weirdly get excited when he's a feature, but not when he's releasing his own music or album, which is unfortunate. So click my link tree in my bio and let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about this new single from Ty Dolla $ign titled Motion? And will you be giving it a listen? And if you have, do you think it's fire or trash? Shout out to the 14 people we have right now. Just know I'm covering the latest drops that just came out, and we are getting into them one by one right now. Okay, now we're about to get into Chris Brown and Friday. It has two Y's, so do I say like Friday? Like, you know, do I have to say a little zesty like Aubrey Graham, or like how are we gonna do that? Friday. Not to play, my fault. My fault. Let me just review the track. All right, let me pull this up right quick. Okay, cool. I think that works. Let's get into it right now. If you would have told me that we was gonna get a Friday or Friday, you know, it's too wide. So do I say it like Friday, like a gangster, Or do I say like Friday? Like, you know, a little zesty, like, you know, Aubrey Graham. But anyways, that's besides the point. Friday and Chris Brown have never collaborated. And I don't know why, but they just never collaborated. But if you would have told me we was gonna get a Friday and Chris Brown track in 2023, I would have told you was crazy. Because in general, of course, Chris Brown makes music with anybody, and not just to disrespect Friday. I'm just saying, like, Chris Brown does give you a feature if you have the money, if you have the bag. You know what I'm saying? As they say, you got to collect that bag, and best believe Chris Brown gets to all of them, which is why people think he's. Never mind. Let me leave that for another subject for another day. Anyways, they haven't collaborated. Titled "Don't Give It Away." That's produced by Aiden Brody and KVRIM. But anyways, it's more of a slowed down track. Um, if you don't know, the reason why this came about is because Chris Brown recently, I don't know if it was recently, but he expressed interest in working with Friday, and he wanted to work with him because, quote, I've heard some of Friday's music and I'm really impressed. He's got a lot of potential, and I would love to work with him on a song. And guess what? Now they have it with "Don't Give It Away," as it's one of those type of tracks where it's very much a slowed down vibe, more of an R&B type of track. And if that's your vibe, if you try and get ready for the summer instead of, you know, murdering and killing people 24/7, listening to Lil Durk or YoungBoy, then of course Friday and Chris Brown is your guys because they're both talented, both can sing, both know how to complement the summer with music, which means they make summer music. If that wasn't clear, and they both have a large fan base that would, you know, make it obvious for them to collab, as their sounds are not similar, but they can both sing. So, you know, it's not a duet, but it's definitely a song that could be candidate for song for song of the summer. But I guess that's like a fan base type thing, as Chris Brown and Friday's fan base will definitely have to support the track to get it to the point where it's one of the better tracks of the summer. But currently, I think that this is one of those type of collabs where fans are gonna look at it and they're gonna be like, finally, because since they've never collaborated, it's like one of those type of things where this track is gonna be played so much when people be like, does Friday and Chris Brown have a track together? And guess what? They're gonna pull up this track titled "Don't Give It Away" featuring Chris Brown by Friday. And obviously, it says Friday in Chris Brown, but I believe if it was to be on either or's album, it would definitely be on Fridays. As I don't think Chris Brown's putting out an album anytime soon. But you never know, because this man's work ethic is superior to any other R&B artist I've ever seen. I mean, this man literally puts out like tracks with 40 songs on the original album, and I've never seen that before in my life. I'm like, obviously you've seen that with compilations and, like, you know, maybe producer albums, but to be one artist putting out that much music, and some of them be just like straight solo 40 track albums, I'm like, bro, ain't no way you not. No, I was playing. Let me chill. But but you know, Chris Brown has been accused of a lot of stuff, and that's all I'm gonna say with that. And one of them, they say, enhances his productivity. Let's just put it like that. So, anyways, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about Chris Brown and Friday finally collaborating? And will you be giving the track "Don't Give It Away" a listen? All right. Shout out to 14 people we have over at Wisdom right now. Appreciate y'all tuning in live. You could be anywhere listening to anything right now, but you're listening to me break down the latest hip hop tracks. So I definitely appreciate it, man. Make sure to hit that follow button if you're enjoying the content, and if not, you know, I sincerely apologize. You know me, I'm gonna have to pick it up. You feel me? You know what I mean? So speaking of picking up, I'm finna slow it down right now because I definitely got logged back into this. I don't know what happened. This always happens. You know, Restream. Come on, man. Y'all got to fix it. No, let me chill. Restream does pretty well. I mean, it's literally working right. As long as the main thing's working, I guess I'll log back into the actual chat. Because I want to see the YouTube chat just in case y'all want to comment. Because sometimes, like when I was playing Jedi Survivor, there's this one dude who was like Shaquille Oatmeal. And I swear that was his name. Like it was just Shaquille Oatmeal. And he was like commenting a lot. And he was pretty cool. So I want to be able to look and see if they comment. I just love how, hold up. Okay, I misspelled that. So many names in my email. I mean, so many letters in my email. My fault. I can't even talk. It's always asking for that authentication. Ain't no way I've been streaming for this long. We've been going for an hour 30. Anyways, I don't even feel like it. All right, let me put this up there right quick. 7. Look, y'all thought y'all shouldn't get the whole code, so I can't do that. All right, I pulled it back up. Hopefully it doesn't go away again. My fault for that little intermission. But that's why, if you miss any portion of the stream, you can definitely tune into my podcast after the fact. It'll be uploaded and you can just get straight to it. But the live portion definitely allows for people who want to get their perspective off to do that, because it's a safe space, open discussion. I always welcome new perspectives as long as it's respectful, So, anyways, let's get into French Montana and Mr. Black, aka Kodak. All right, let me see. Um. Okay, cool. Now, it's about time that these two make another track together, because in general, if I make a track with somebody almost 4 to 5 years ago and the song was a huge success on the Billboard Top 100, being number 6 when we're talking about um, Tunnel Vision, and if we're talking about Lockjaw, and if we're talking about There He Go, like, come on now, like, those are some of the hits that we need for summer 2023. Now, do I think the new track with Kodak and French Montana, I Can't Lie, is that? No, but it's not utter trash. So, with that being said, I think we have to wait to see if this bubbles up for the summer. I'm kind of hesitant to stamp it as a solid track, as with French Montana and Kodak Black, I have huge expectations, as they literally collaborated to create Lockjaw. So every time they collaborate now, you're kind of held to that bar because y'all showed us what y'all can do together. But I think in general, with Kodak Black, he's really just living his best life. I mean, imagine being on the album, talking and rapping with someone who people considered the greatest rapper of the modern age, in Kendrick Lamar. Being on the Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was a big step, no pun intended. Well, I guess pun intended, because I kind of forced that in there, with Kodak Black, and for them to collaborate, or for Kendrick to ask Kodak to be so much of an influence on this album, really showcased the respect that Kodak has in the industry, to the point where these type of collaborations I don't take lightly anymore. I expect some type of anthem when it's French Montana and Kodak Black, and this track just simply isn't that. Now, it's just one track, which is why I'm giving my review. It's not an entire album. I don't think that this means that French or Kodak put out an album is just gonna be straight trash, but this single, I Can't Lie, literally the track title is I Can't Lie, but me personally, I can't lie and say it's fire when it's actually just mid. It's just like simple rapping with Kodak and French Montana, when we've heard them give us great choruses to go along with those features. But right now, I think both of them are just cooling, trying to see if they can catch another hit together, but this is definitely not one of them. Many tracks Kodak and French Montana has collaborated on. Obviously, I just listed off some of the biggest ones with Lockjaw, Mopstick, Tunnel Vision, There He Go. But in general, whenever you're looking at French Montana, whenever you're looking at Kodak Black, they're both artists where you expect a certain type of anthem when it comes to summertime music, as Kodak Black is the same person who gave us Super Gremlin, and French Montana literally gave us every Drake fire verse imaginable that completely captivated the summer. So I expected more from this single, and while it's not utter trash, I do think it could have been a little bit better. So click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about Kodak Black and French Montana collaborating for the fifth time? And do you think that this I Can't Lie record stacks up against their past collaborations? Alrighty. Shout out to people still coming in over at Wisdom. Just know we're going through the latest hip hop tracks. Make sure to hit that follow button if you want to be notified for when I go live. I always cover the latest hip hop and gaming news. Currently, I'm just covering the latest hip hop tracks that just dropped. So we're getting into that currently. So let's pull up some other tracks to see what I don't know if we missed anything else. Got some Migos. We get through these topics pretty quickly. That's usually how I like it. Machine Gun Kelly. We talked about Burna Boy. Got talked about my boy Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran can come to the imaginary barbecue, ain't he? Or can he? That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Yo, imagine a barbecue where you just bring all the people who you said could come to the barbecue. That would be one interesting barbecue. Like y'all said we can bring this man. No, I was playing. All right. And then let's pull up Tootsie. Tootsie is how you say it? All right, cool. Let's just look at this song. All right, let's focus on Machine Gun Kelly. Can y'all see that, man? Okay, y'all can. Cool. And then let me come over here. What in the world did I just do? My fault. Give me a second. Did I just take that off? I did take that off. Wow. Okay. Okay. Give me 1 second. Gotta do some research. We don't do no fake news around here. All right. Since being engaged to Megan Fox wasn't a dub enough, Machine Gun Kelly is back once more with a new single titled. All right, I'm about to start over. Okay, we're gonna start from right here. Since being engaged to Megan Fox wasn't good enough, this man is back again with the new track titled Pressure. I think Pressure is a very interesting track because typically Machine Gun Kelly has been putting out rock music, I would say, and has been not shunning the genre of rap, but not really paying too as much attention to it as Machine Gun Kelly rap fans will hope he would pay attention. Um, I guess switching genres can't be looked at as a bad thing as he's trying to evolve as an artist, but people do like when Machine Gun Kelly raps, so I'm so glad he's back to rapping as this man is one of the best white rappers to ever grace a mic. And I know that's very specific ESPN type stat, but I'm being so serious when I say that he's up there with the likes of Eminem. Now, no, don't come after me, don't kill me. I'm sorry, I apologize. I sincerely apologize, but let me just lay out my point, okay? So basically, this man is like the figurehead for all white rappers in the industry. One of those type of guys where he's cool enough to be accepted into the hip hop industry, but also he does his own thing where he tries to switch up the genre whenever he wants and go into the rock genre, and people still accept him back into hip hop. Because if you haven't noticed by now, we're pretty particular about who we let into the hip hop space when it comes to the white rappers, and that's just because in life they're particular about us black people when it comes to letting us into anything. So something that we created as far as music, we're a little more reluctant to let mediocre rappers come through, especially if the white. So, just putting it blunt, I'm just letting y'all know how it is in the hip hop industry. So, anyways, Machine Gun Kelly was one of those type of guys who came through. Obviously, we have others like Macklemore, Jack Harlow, of course, Dave, aka Lil Dicky, which, that name in general should just let you know why we're so strict about white rappers coming into hip hop. But, that's besides the point. But, Machine Gun Kelly, the main point of this is to tell you that he's back with a new single titled Pressure. And boy, is he trying to put the pressure on Jack Harlow, because ever since Jack Harlow said that he's the best white rapper since the dude who rapped about sweaters and mom spaghetti or whatever, Machine Gun Kelly came out of the woodworks. Logic came out of the woodworks. Half of Logic came out of the woodworks. But what else? Russ came out of the woodworks. I mean, everybody was just like, "Hey, let me show you a little something, so you don't just say no blasphemous statement like that ever again." But apparently, this man is just working on a new album. Machine Gun Kelly teased he's working on a new album. He says it's going to be releasing a single today, which is why he released a single. And he will be starring in a new movie. He's going to be playing Tommy Lee in the upcoming biopic The Dirt, which is set to be released March 24th. And also, he's still feuding with Eminem. I had to throw that in there because, boy, that Eminem and MGK beef was some premium content of white boys beefing. You don't get that too much in the hip hop space, because guess what? It's not too many of them we let in. So you already know that this man is already talented in his own right. And that's why I believe that MGK, along with his just immense talent and being unique in the industry, is one of the greatest white rappers to ever live. So click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think of MGK's single titled Pressure? And if you've given it a listen, do you think it's fire or trash? Okay, let's keep the ball running. Should I get into a Spanish track? Probably not yet. Let's do this one. I love reading off 21 Savage lyrics because this is just ridiculous. People want to talk about Gunna snitching, but it's because of people like this. These people just talk about killing 24/7. No wonder Gunna snitch. No, I was playing. My fault. All right. Let me see. Let's see. And 21 Savage tracks. All right, hopefully that pulls some up. Let me pull this back up there. Y'all see it? Y'all can't see it? Okay, cool. Oh, shout out to people over at Kick. Forgot to shout y'all out. My fault. But make sure to hit that follow button if you enjoyed the content so far. Just know I covered the latest hip hop and gaming. If you missed any portion of the stream and want to catch it after, whatever platform you listen to podcasts on, it will be uploaded there. And if you just want to type it in, it's Notorious Mass Effect, whatever platform you listen to podcasts on. And if you want to just click my link tree in my bio, it gives you a direct link to whatever you listen to podcasts on. So yeah. So I have you covered in all areas. Pause? I don't know. But anyways, we're just going to roll with that one. All right, let's keep going. So after only having 2 tracks that they've collaborated on, the second one being Pull Up. Now, you may be wondering, why is this only the second track from Tootie's debut album? Well, let me tell you something. When you're trying to sell an album and it's your debut, you better have a notable artist on it to let people know you made it. Now, nobody's going to think you made it if you're still rapping with Ricky from the block. Shout out to Boys in the Hood. I think that was the right one, right? Right movie? Wrong movie? That may have been a wrong movie. I think it was Boys in the Hood. Anyways, y'all get what I'm saying. You can't be rapping with a local underground artist when you're trying to say that you blew up in the mainstream industry. So having a 21 Savage feature and obviously having another one, as they did have a track also this year, I believe, that they collaborated on, and it was titled Same Song. Let me see. I think that's false. Let me see. Yeah, I think this is the first collab ever. And this track is more of a melodic sound, but the reason why I have the lyrics pulled up, y'all know why I have the lyrics pulled up. Hold on, let me get my little. Actually, I'm gonna save my sound effect debut for Gunna, because you already know what I'm finna get into. But anyways, let's get into 21 Savage. This man, I'm not gonna lie to you. 21 Savage is by far my favorite artist to read lyrics from because this man is exactly, I mean exactly why Gunna snitch. So 21 Savage, Mr. Savage from the UK, gotta throw that fun fact in there, said he tried to run through the cut. Boy, where you going? Get hawked down the street. Glock with a switch, which is illegal. Hit an expletive with a left hook, right hook, Muhammad Ali, and in parentheses, just in case you ain't get the message, he put on God. See? God, y'all gonna stop playing with God, but anyways, we're gonna keep going. If you ain't signing no major, you better off not even asking. My fee. That expletive a couple hundred. He a expletive cat like Garfield. Stick make an expletive do a cartwheel. Man, y'all ever seen it? No, just let me chill. All right, so basically, the FBI is probably at 21 Savage door right now with the Drewski face, asking, "What do you mean by that?" Because this man does not care about what type of violent activities he raps about in his music. 21 Savage put out a tweet recently, and not even recent. It put out like a year ago, and it was just so funny because he was like, "Hey, Atlanta, let's put the guns down." And y'all know what happened after he put out that tweet? His fans pulled up every single lyric from every single one of his songs, and that man looked like a complete fool. I mean, they was replying with "spin the block twice like there ain't nowhere to park." Pulled up in the rose, but he left in a stretcher. I mean, this man just said so many blasphemous stuff, violent statements in his raps, and then comes out on Twitter and is like, "Hey, let's put the guns down." You just can't make this stuff up, man. These rappers are just oblivious and ignorant nowadays. So, anyways, that's why I love reading off 21 Savage lyrics, because this is the same man that said put the guns down, which we definitely should put the guns down. But guess what? If it comes from somebody who's picking the guns up and talking about the switch that he has on it, then guess what? We not gonna listen to you no more. So, anyways, I think that's pretty self-explaining. But anyways, so Tootsie and 21 Savage, I think this is the first collab. I looked it up, but I didn't really get a clear answer. So I think this is the first collab called Pull Up. Obviously, it has the ignorance in it that you would probably hope is in a 21 Savage type track, and also is threatening people in a violent way. So hopefully you enjoy that, whatever that is. Click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about the 21 Savage and Tootsie track titled Pull Up? And will you be giving it a listen? And also, if you have, do you think it's fire or trash? Ooh, I almost pressed stop streaming. That would have been tragic. Cause I record while I stream, cause I don't feel like downloading the whole stream, cause it just takes too long. I mean, it doesn't take long, but it takes longer than me like just recording it while I live. So, anyways, let me see. Oh, shout out to the 20 people we have in here right now. I definitely appreciate y'all. Definitely appreciate y'all taking the time out of your morning to listen to me cover the latest hip hop tracks that just released. Also, make sure to hit that follow button to be notified when I go live. I'm always covering the latest hip hop and gaming. You can go through my talks and see the plethora of times I've went live. So I'm pretty consistent at this point. I always cover tracks when they come out. And as far as hip hop and gaming topics, I definitely cover those as well. So if you want to be informed about the latest hip hop and gaming, definitely follow. And also, shameless plug, we just surpassed 624,000 total downloads in just 6 months under Red Circle for the podcast. So if you want to join the masses, type in Notorious Mass Effect on whatever platform you listen to podcasts on, and to keep up with the latest hip hop and gaming. I definitely appreciate it. Also, if you want an easier route, I have my link tree in my bio. Click that, gives you a direct link to whatever platform you listen to podcasts on, as that is where I will be. And that's where these are going after the fact. So if you miss out on any of the stream in general, definitely be uploaded to my podcast. All right, let's get into the boy that we keep inviting to the imaginary cookout. Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me see. Let me just take this off right here. All right, cool. I ain't gonna lie. came in a rose, but he left in a stretcher is a fire bar. But we can't say that on wax. We just gotta act like that stuff. You know what I mean? That's a fire bar. I'm sorry. Yo, I was like, whoa, that man's serious, ain't he? No, I'm just playing. My fault. My fault. I'm gonna tighten up. All right, let's get into Ed Sheeran. Everybody's favorite guy to invite to, and definitely messed that up. I'm starting over. Should I say white guy? I don't like bringing race into everything, but sometimes it's just apparent. Yeah. Plus, I like Ed Sheeran, so I don't want to say nothing too crazy. All right, hold up. All right, let's start over. That's what happens when it's the live edition. Y'all get all the mess ups and stuff. But anyways, let's run it back. Let's run it back. Yeah. So y'all didn't hear that. Y'all didn't hear that. All right, let's run it back now. Everybody's favorite musician to invite to the imaginary cookout. Everybody's favorite musician to invite to the imaginary cookout. I think that's how you say it. Should I just start over? I'm just gonna start over. All right, third time's hey, y'all didn't hear that one either. Third time's the charm. Isn't that what they say? All right. Everybody's favorite musician to invite to the imaginary cookout. Ed Sheeran is back once again, ladies and gentlemen, for the final season of Ted Lasso. You know who they called up? That man with the orange hair. Now, is his hair orange? I have no idea, but I'm partly colorblind. So if y'all make fun of me for it, y'all are going to hell. So anyways, Ed Sheeran is back again to put out a new single titled A Beautiful Game for Ted Lasso's final goodbye in his final season. Pour one out for Ted Lasso. And by pour one out, I mean it better be a cup of water. So, anyways, this is where Ed Sheeran comes in because the series finale is out today apparently, and Ed Sheeran helped Ted Lasso say goodbye for the final original song, "A Beautiful Game." And what other person to have make you a farewell song, a goodbye type of song than Ed Sheeran? I mean, this man literally made shape of You, and I forget what it was, another track he made. I don't know why I'm blanking on Ed Sheeran's tracks right now, but anyways, I don't feel like looking that up. So this man has made so many a plethora of just straight diamond tracks. I mean, he's probably one of the more popular artists in the music industry as we speak, and so having him create an entire farewell song for your final season is just one of those type of things where you just gotta chalk it up as a dub. Like, that's the most perfect way you could have went out. I mean, Ted Lasso, no, Ed Sheeran even announced A Beautiful Game one day before the finale was set to air, but it's been in the works for over a year. And Ed Sheeran, gave a little bit of insight for his fans out there, saying, quote, "I recorded bits of it whilst." Who uses whilst? Bro, looking at whilst as like a word is crazy. Like, saying it 3 times fast, it's like, bro, how's that even a word? Did he really say that in like an actual sentence? Anyways, my fault. Let me focus. So Ed Sheeran said, quote, "I recorded bits of it whilst on tour using crowds from the stadiums that I've been playing." Super flex, ain't it? And I'm super, super, super proud of it. Also, Ed Sheeran said, "I love the show. I've loved working on this song. I hope you enjoy it. Just a bit of fun." And then for some reason, this man screamed out football. I don't get it. Maybe Ted Lasso's about football. I ain't never watched the show, so I don't know what it's about. But it says it's a sports comedy. Okay, that makes sense. My fault. I'll tighten up. But Ed Sheeran, gave his little sentiments on why he created the farewell song for the final finale. And obviously he must have been a fan, as he literally said it right there at the end, screaming out football for no reason. So in general, with Ed Sheeran putting this out and with him teasing or just rolling out the release of his next album, Minus, I think his next album was Minus, I believe. I don't feel like fact checking that, but I believe, I'm enough of an Ed Sheeran fan to say that his next album is Minus, I believe. But maybe I'm tripping. It's one of them multiplication, one of them math symbols. You know what I mean? It's one of them. There's only so many you can use until you run out, Ed Sheeran. Like, at this point, bro, like, you may have to start, like, putting a X in front of some of these multiplication math equations, because I'm like, bro, at this point, this man just need to become a mathematician because all these album titles are getting me confused. So, anyways, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about Ed Sheeran completely making a farewell original song titled "A Beautiful Game" for the final season of Ted Lasso? And if you've heard it already, do you think it's fire or trash? All right. Let me see. What we. Oh, Bizarro. Okay, that's great. Gotta get into this, man. My chat went away again, bro. I'm not gonna keep logging into this. Do I still have my password up? If I do, I can just. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I'm sorry. Y'all give me 1 second. Yo, restream. What are we doing? I know I'm not streaming for that long. I know I'm not. Like, come on now. I'm going on 147, which is technically like a normal stream. Restream keep making me log in. I'm gonna crash out. Y'all don't even know what that means. I'm sorry. Yeah, y'all shouldn't. If y'all do know what that means, seek God. My fault. All right. Anyways, I pulled it back up. All right. Cool. All right. All right. Back to the show. Back to the show. So, anyways, let me see. Oh, shout out to the people still joining in over at Wisdom. We are going 21 strong right now, early in the morning, technically. So I appreciate y'all listening to me break down the latest tracks that just dropped. We're about to get into Bizarrap and Peso. Oh, I remember. Yeah. The reason I wanted to cover this track, yo, I'm so phony. The only reason I want to cover this track, I want to talk about another track in the same genre. What's this song called? I think it's like Pepas or something. Here it is. It is Pepas. I forget how you say it, but somebody told me how you said or how you even pronounce this track, and I still messed it up. Anyways, I'm gonna type this. Give me 1 second. Look up some stuff for this. This is like one of my favorite tracks, and I don't know a word of it. So, you know, of course, one of the girls had told me, "Oh, it's talking about pills." Like, okay, like thank you for telling me that. Like, thank you for just ruining the song for me. Now you didn't tell me it's talking about substance abuse. No, it's playing. My fault. Yeah. So let's get into that right now. Actually, hold up. All right, cool. Now it may seem phony, and it might just be because I simply wanted to cover this track. Well, first we're gonna get into it. We're covering the Bizarrap and Peso Plumas Music Session Volume 5, but also we're just getting into a little bit of the details, and now I'm gonna get into the real topic I want to talk about. You know, just gotta be transparent because I don't know why people are acting like this is a diss track, but people are here for it for some reason. They said the music video was shot in less than 24 hours, reached number 2 on YouTube's trending for music chart, and you know they even translated the lyrics into English, which nobody wants to read that. I want to focus on a track that's in the same genre, which I honestly think is one of the better tracks of 2023, and that is I don't know how to pronounce this, so don't laugh at me. I think it's pronounced Pepis by Faruko. Now this, for those who don't know and just uncultured swines out there, is a song made for parties. I'm not gonna lie to you, this track alone will get a party jumping. You don't need to know a word of the track. Like you don't even need to sing along. All you gotta do is just hum to the beat, dance to it, and you will know what I'm talking about. Put on the song, and I'm pretty sure you've heard this before because this beat is insane. And don't ask any of your friends who speak the who will be able to tell you the English translation because you do not want to know the subject matter of Pepis. But anyways, I'm definitely pronouncing it wrong, but it's okay. Just let me keep rocking. The Puerto Rican reggaeton singer Farruko, the one who created the track, and this was released January 14th, 2023, as a lead single for his upcoming album La 167. Of course, this is a dance hall inspired track about partying and having fun, and that's all you need to know. Don't look into the lyrics. I'm telling you, it's gonna ruin it for you. It's had and has a lot of commercial success, being played at all the popular clubs you can imagine, and is number 10 on Billboard Top 100. So obviously, it's one of those type of tracks where everybody's playing it. The song is very catchy. I mean, the beat itself, I think, carries the entire track. I mean, I think the artist Farruko is literally on it for less than a minute. I'm like, bro, ain't no way this man said a couple lines. I mean, he was nice, you know, he was going crazy with it. But ain't no way this man said a couple lines for 30 seconds and the rest of it is just straight beat. But guess what? The beat is fire. Like, it's probably the best part of the track. Not even probably, it is. Like, it's mainly the beat. It should have said the beat featuring Farruko. I don't know who the producer is. I wish I would have said it on here, but it doesn't. But it's basically a catchy melody. You probably already heard it before if you listen to it. As a popular club song around the world, as it should be. It's one of those type of things where as a very much it's really a vibe. I know a lot of people say that to be like, oh man, this a vibe, that's a vibe, everything's a vibe. But nah, Peppers, I'm still pronouncing it wrong, but you know what I'm saying. It's one of the best songs I've heard in 2023, and I'm standing that as a fact. Like, I don't know the words. Well, I do know now. You know, somebody told me for no reason, came out of nowhere, and then they was like, hey, do you know that this means this and this? I'm like, bro, ain't no way you just told me. Like just ruined the whole mystique of it to me. But it's okay. I'm not gonna do it for y'all. So you don't have to worry about me doing it for y'all. So in general, I really just wanted to get into Peppers and just wanted to just credit that song on being one of the more popular tracks of the year, and just being one of those type of tracks where if you look at it, it's really catchy for the beat. The beat carries, but Farruko definitely did his part for the mere 10 seconds he was on it. So, anyways, click my link tree in my bio and let me know for both tracks. What do you think about the Bizarrap and Peso Pluma's Bizarrap Music Sessions Volume 55? I definitely probably butchered that to like, I butchered that very bad, but y'all kind of get what I'm saying. It's BZRP Music Sessions Volume 5 by Peso Plumas. And also, what do you think about Peppers by Farruko? And from a scale of 1 to 10, how bad did I butcher all of these names? All right, all right. Let me see. Man, how much we got left, bro? Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I feel like we was going through them, but we have so many tracks left. All right, give me a second. But you know, I do definitely appreciate the 21 people still rocking with me. Um, just looking at these, I'm like, man, I got a lot to go through. All right. This a rap, Lotto. I already talked about Lotto, right? Oh no, Lotto's in the, yeah, we talked about Lotto at the beginning. Okay, great. Dave, Kid Cudi. Okay, no cap. We may have to cut some of these out. So let's just get straight into Gunna, The Weeknd. So yeah, let's get into the people on the title because I'm not covering like 50 tracks. Let's just, yeah. We got 3 more tracks to get into that, but we could say that for another day. I think we're running good on time. Usually I like to do 2+ hours. We're coming up on that. All right. Yeah, let's get into Gunna. This is my main man right here. The main man with the plan. This man had a plan, all right. His plan made everybody mad. Talking about getting out scotch free. Isn't that how they say it? Let's take that out. Take this out. Pause that. Okay, cool. All right. Um, let me see. I'm gonna see what this pulls up. All right. After definitively snitching, quote unquote, for the gangsters out there, and a conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influence and Corruption Organization, which is a RICO, he has denied cooperating with the prosecution. Well, look at that. Also, Gunna's quote unquote plea deal has sparked a lot of just uproar in Free Young Thug campaign and Young Thug fans in general. A lot of people are like, snitching is not good. Should never tell on somebody who does crime because that's just messed up. Forget about not doing the crime in the first place. You should just not tell on them out of the goodness of your heart because that's just how the streets grow. But guess what? I'm a law-abiding citizen and Gunna ain't snitch on me. So we finna get into his track that he just debuted titled Bread and Butter. Because guess what? He's trying to get that bread and he's buttering y'all up to completely let loose and let y'all know that he don't care what y'all think. He trying to get these combos. This man literally said, I've been down bad inside a dark tunnel. So forget y'all boys. I found out who my real partners are and who was with me only because I had dollars. Now, this man was spitting to the point I thought he was on the stand because this man was like telling it on the track the same way he was telling it on the stand. All he needed was a little yes ma'ams and the ad libs. I mean, just a little, just a little. I found them boys who was real my partners, yes ma'am. Just something like that, to spice up the track a little bit. Like that would have been fire. Like imagine if he had yes ma'am ad libs on the track, bro. I don't think y'all understand. This would have been the most classic track since Hit 'Em Up by Tupac. Now, just playing. My fault. Went a little crazy with that. But y'all get what I'm saying. This man literally was telling the truth like he was telling it on the stand. Like you would have thought he was talking directly to the judge the way he was talking on this track, Bread and Butter. He said, they'll kill for clout. I put that on my dead brother. Yeah, he talks so much. I show him I'm a real hunter. Won't say it, but he know I still got real cutters. Then just finished snitching. Ain't no way he's still talking about street activities. But ain't no way. Maybe I just misread that. I'm right back and I lost mad commas. I've been down bad. Okay, and then goes back into the chorus. This is one point I want to go into. Just so I won't have to say a word to a Dodge Railroad. Actually, to find it hard to understand. Dog can't put me down, been locked down. I don't know which way to go. Never gave me a statement nor agreed to take them on no stand. Man, he's telling the truth still. That's crazy. I fell for it on my P's and Q's because this time I've been prepared for it. Post to shine, expletives throwing shade. I can get them hit. Hold up. Rewind. I can get them hit, but I'ma just chill? Nah, bro. Hold up. I didn't want to do it to him, but this man talking too greasy, bro. I gotta report this man. Ain't no way. Hold up, man. This don't make no sense. Like I don't think y'all understand. Like I don't think y'all understand. Like hold up. Maybe y'all didn't hear that, man. I don't hold up. Like at this point, I'm telling myself, nah, you want to tell? I'm gonna tell more. Like this, like we can have a tell off. How about that? Like forget spelling bees. We gonna see how many snitches we can get to tell on all the criminals. Cause this man just said I can get them hit, but I'ma just chill. Now what does that mean? Y'all let me know what that meant. Like just coming off of Rico, what do you think he means by that? Anyways, I digress. So anyways, this man said he wants some smoke with me, ain't in my time zone. Any given day, I could just pop out one of them side doors. He's really talking gangster after snitching. I done seen it all. I done seen it all. I swear that Gunna was just gonna come out rapping about luxury, talking about fashion, girls, money, cars, clothes, jewelry. But this man wants to stick on the subject of being a gangster. I'm at a loss for words. Obviously, I listened to the track, but when you read the lyrics out verbatim, it's kind of blasphemy. Like this man just got out of a RICO case, and the way he got out of a RICO case could cost him his career as far as like what mainstream artists wanted to collab with him, because everybody and their mama loves Thug for some reason. So at this point, I'm thinking he would just come out and be like, rap about my cars and stuff, be like, I ain't no gangster. But no, he said he's still on there. I mean, literally. I mean, hold up, just in case the police wasn't listening. This man said Gunnatello said, I can get him hit, but I'ma just chill. Hmm. FBI, open up! FBI, open up! Hey, we got him. We definitely got him. Send that straight to the police. Make sure, get the time stamp. All right, cool. So yeah, we snitching on Gunna since he still want to act gangster, coming off of Rico, snitching on Young Thug. At this point, I was gonna be on Gunna's side, but I really done that line threw me off. He really said I can get him hit, but I'ma just chill. He really still talking gangster as a whole snitch. So, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't care about him snitching on bad guys because they're doing bad things. But if he's gonna also get out and start talking about the bad things he's doing as well, guess what? We finna have a tell-off, and guess who's gonna win? The person who's actually doing no crime, which is me. So we finna send this directly to the authorities, and then guess what's gonna happen? So, anyways, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about Gunnatello and his latest track called Bread and Butter? And do you think it was fire or trash? And also, do you think this man should refrain from talking about gangster activities, or do you think it's all fair game? All right. I think that segment is pretty good. I don't know. What y'all think? Let me see. All right. We have 22 people in here right now. Definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in live in the morning to listen to me talk about the latest tracks that just dropped. And we're getting into the people in the title. So far, we've been getting into Gunatello. Now we're about to get into the Weeknd, Mr. King of Pop himself. And then we're going to finish it up with a little Metro Boomin talk, which is why I asked y'all if y'all was going to see that Spider-Man movie, because I'm kind of jealous if you are. I'm not going to lie. I really ain't got no time. I didn't, I told y'all I'm on vacation. I don't know if y'all saw the, hold up. So many ads. Oh, man. Hold up. Give me a second now. We got to take that off. Arby's all over the screen. That's criminal. Hey, y'all let me know who eats Arby in the chat so I can pray for y'all stomachs. No cap. I'm gonna say a little prayer for y'all, man. I know y'all stomachs on 10. Hate y'all every second of the way. Every bite y'all take is just another beef you starting with your stomach, but it's okay. I'm gonna pray for you. All right, let me put this in right quick. All right, cool. Take all them ads away because that was wild. They had that all over the screen. All right, we back. Like I said, 12-foot IO. I'll get you right, man. I'll get you right. All right, let's pull this up right here. All right, cool. Let's get into Abel Tesfaye right now. Song of the summer. Best song I done heard in 2023. Now, it should go without saying I'm a huge Abel Tesfaye fan. But after listening to this track, Drake could never. And that hurts my heart to say, man. Hurts my heart to say. Because this man that made a collab track with Playboy Cardi, and I think this might actually be the greatest thing since sliced bread. This track, which is the second single off of the Weeknd's TV show, I believe, that's coming out. I don't know if it's a movie or TV show. All I know is it has terrible reviews, but hey, if you want to watch it, you know, hey, I done warned you. So the Idol Volume 1 soundtrack already had a single come out called Double Fantasy with The Weeknd and Future, which was just straight fuego. Now he's back again with a sequel featuring the Playboy himself, Cardi, titled Popular. And boy, is this track gonna be popular, because I think this is one of the greatest tracks the Weeknd's ever made. I don't want to jump out there and be dramatic, even though I already did, so I might as well stay here. But this track, Popular, reminds me of when artists actually took collaboration serious and tried to put their best foot forward. Popular by The Weeknd and Playboy Cardi is probably one of the better tracks I've heard in the past 2 to 3 years. And I know y'all gonna think I'm being dramatic. You know, I may be a little biased because I am an Abel Tesfaye fan. I do think he's one of the best voices to ever grace a mic. Pause if needed. But at the end of the day, the Idol Volume 1 soundtrack has no business going this hard. The Weeknd putting out this soundtrack, which is really disguised his actual album, because he's putting his best foot forward. You know, usually soundtracks, I'm not going to say you just phone it in, but there's a certain formulaic sound you go for. But it seems like the Weeknd sound kind of does run in the midst of that movie TV type of sound, where you can put him in any type of soundtrack. I mean, we saw with the Black Panther, that, you know, the iconic movie that was, when the Weeknd and Kendrick Lamar got on the same track for that soundtrack. It was just one of the better tracks that we've heard in a while, and I still stand on that. That also is one of the better tracks I've heard in the past 3 to 4 years. That the Weeknd and Kendrick track with Future at the end, I believe. I don't know if Future was at the end or not, but anyways, Abel Tesfaye is just on a whole nother planet when it comes to making quality music, and it just shows again what this collaboration with Playboy Cardi. Now, there's a name I'm leaving out that's also on the track, but that's just simply because I don't know what she's doing here. Like, bro, what is Madonna doing on this track? Like, I know y'all gonna get mad at me. Y'all gonna be like, oh, she's an icon. Oh, she's one of those type of people who you know, you should never get mad at that because she's just so iconic. It's so legendary. But bro, get her off this track, bro. It's the Weeknd and Playboy Cardi going crazy. I don't need Madonna coming in singing what Abel could have done 10 times better himself. So if they wanted to have a woman voice on the track, they could have easily got Ariana. They could have easily got a Taylor Swift. Why hasn't The Weeknd and Taylor Swift done a track together? Now, that's a question, or have they? I don't know. I have to look that up. But yeah, I think Madonna on this track was just completely unnecessary. I feel like they really looked at the track. They felt like maybe we should spice it up a little bit, and they completely messed up. It's just like, let's just put Madonna on it, man. Forget it. She already in the studio for some reason. But yeah, let's just let her, you know, put her vocals on the track, I guess. So I don't even know why they did that. But the Idol Volume 1 soundtrack will be available for pre-order. And also, it's a Sam Levinson directed HBO series set to premiere June 4th. And Popular obviously joins the future track Double Fantasy, which will be on the actual Volume 1 soundtrack. And The Weeknd first performed Double Fantasy during Metro Boomin's Coachella set, which we're about to get into in a second. And the song peaked at number 18 on the Billboard Top 100. So Double Fantasy was definitely a success. Wasn't as popular, you know, no pun intended, as popular. But I think that Popular, I keep saying it, will end up being a top 5 track on Billboard Top 100 simply for the fact that The Weeknd's rabid fan base and Playboy Cardi's cult-like fan base coming together will cultivate and probably an iconic track that will just run the charts for the entire summer, and probably even more than that. So, anyways, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about the first collaboration between The Weeknd and Playboi Carti? And do you think it lived up to the hype? All right, let's get into Metro. I totally missed that one. Hold on, let me get some Metro. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, okay. What song are people gravitating to? Let's do this one. And then, all right, so we finna finish with Metro. Since Metro dropped the entire soundtrack for a movie I've been really highly anticipating, I might as well cover a bunch of tracks from here. So let's do one. Let's do two, and then let's do. Let me see. Which one do you think will go crazy? Uzi, no. Uzi's already on this one. Am I dreaming? No. Annihilate is kind of mid. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Let's try this one. All right, cool. All right, let's get into it right now. I think it'll probably help if I put the article up for y'all YouTube and Kick viewers. So give me 1 second. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, let's see how it looks on y'all end. All right, that works. All right, let's get into Metro Boomin right now. You know, I still haven't got over my beef with Metro Boomin. After taking the GOAT off of trance and acting like he had no room for him, which he literally said in the interview, you can look it up yourself, said he had no room for Drake on the trance track, which is just blasphemy at its finest. So after getting past that and realizing that I definitely wanted to see the movie Spider-Man, because I don't think y'all understand, like I think all time, shout out to Stan Lee and also RIP to Stan Lee. But he's back again, Metro Boomin, of course, to assemble his own superstar Avengers type lineup for the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse soundtrack, which is out now on all DSPs. And one of the biggest things about this is obviously Metro is the executive producer, but the biggest thing about it is that it's very much Spider themed, and the way he rolled this out was very creative. I would have to say myself, it was very creative. He had a lot of artists in Spider-Man art to announce if they was on the soundtrack or not, and boy, does he have a lineup of just straight up Avengers. Future, 21 Savage, Sway Lee. If you don't remember, Sway Lee was the highlight, and I mean the biggest highlight of the first soundtrack, because him and Post Malone came out with Sunflower, and I believe that song was debuted on the original soundtrack for the first Spider-Man animated movie, Into the Spider-Verse. But now for Across the Spider-Verse, Sway Lee is back again for 2 times. So remember that Sunflower track with Post Malone went diamond. I mean, I think it went multiple times diamond. Like that's one of the most streamed songs ever, like in music history. Like Sunflower is just, I mean, listen to Sunflower and come back here and tell me that's not one of the greatest songs ever made. So anyways, that's like 2 times diamond, I believe, or almost. I think it's like 14, 15 times platinum, which is like 1.5 diamond, which, people don't count halves, I guess. But you get what I'm saying. So, yeah. Future, Sway Lee twice, 21 Savage, who else? Nas, Lil Uzi Vert, can't forget him. Kid, definitely can't forget him. And of course, among other people. But it's just been cleverly outlined and promoted, and just the strategic marketing around the soundtrack is just a sight to behold, because usually artists, if they say they're putting something out, guess what? They just gonna put it out the day after. They gonna be like, hey, my stuff dropping, copy if you want. Like literally, that's the promo nowadays, and people be wondering why they flopping left and right. So I'm glad that Metro Boomin put forth the effort of promoting this album, and also he really put together a lineup that people would not forget. As you know, you put Future and Uzi on the same track, people are obviously gonna listen. But you know, he has a lot of other names on this soundtrack, and of course having Nas at the end called Nas Morales. Like, you know, people gonna check that out like it's just selling out of, like it's just going out of style. Like every time Nas raps, everybody's going to listen. So there's a lot of notable names on here. Reminds me of a DJ Khaled type of soundtrack, the way that he just has superstars spread it all over the album. And we're gonna see if it's fire or not, because I haven't listened to the entire thing, so I can't give no review. But from what I've heard, it seems like it's gonna be pretty solid. So click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about Metro Boomin and him executive producing the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse soundtrack? And if you have listened to the entire soundtrack, what is your favorite song? All right. Let me see. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. Has Sway Lee and Nav like performed before or made songs before? Sway Lee and Navaraj songs together. Shout out to the 23 people we have right now listening to me live. Just know if you missed any portion of the stream, it'll go up after the fact to my podcast platforms. Just type in Notorious Mass Effect on whatever platform you listen to podcasts on, or you can just click my link tree in my bio, give you direct access to my podcast and whatever platform you listen to podcasts on. All right, cool. Let's get into it right now. Now, you would think that Navaraj and Little Uzi would be the greatest combo, but Nav and Sway Lee is another contender for that type of dynamic duo to go or to attach to Nav, because I don't know what it is about Navaraj, and yes, I am calling him that because that's his, you know, that's his government, I guess technically. But a lot of people really enjoy Nav when he's on a feature type run, and I think right now in general he's on a very interesting rollout to where he's talking about putting out an album, but he's also not confirming any type of upcoming music. So now that we have this Sway Lee and Nav track called "Calling," literally it's like no pun intended, it's like titled "Calling" for the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse movie, is one of those type of tracks where obviously I haven't listened to it, so I can't give no review. But from face value, it's not too many tracks we have with Sway Lee and Nav. I think it's about like 4 tracks we have. The biggest one I'm seeing right now, if I was to guess, would be probably "Slide" from Nav's album Perfect Timing. But maybe it could be "Relocate." I'll have to listen to it. But basically, Sway Lee and Nav isn't the greatest combination, but I think sonically they could catch one. You know, it's like one of those type of things where I don't think they mesh really well, but if the right producer brings the best out of them, which I think Metro could, it could end up sounding like the greatest thing ever. And I mean like that sincerely. Like I do think Sway Lee's one of the best chorus makers in the business, and I do think that Nav will give a solid verse if push comes to shove. Because if you remember, Nav has some top hits of his own. Because in general, you don't get under the wing of the Weeknd and not be talented. I mean, you see Nav, you see Belly. Both of those artists are very talented. Belly just released an album not too long ago, straight fire. I mean, that man's rapping ability is out of this world. Really is underestimated and is understated how great that man is when it comes to rapping. And I think in general, sometimes a cosign from a huge artist could overshine you to the point where you don't get your flowers. But I think that's not the case for Nav. Nav does get his flowers. It does come with a lot of jokes about, him saying the N-word and he stopped and stuff like that. But in general, Nav is one of those type of rappers where, he's really out the way. Reminds me of Takeoff. He's not too controversial. Or actually, doesn't remind me of Takeoff because he did go on an interview talking about he wish he would have got more cameras like taking pictures of him when he like walked out of clubs and stuff. So Takeoff was really out the way. Nav is like close but not as close. Like he will say some crazy things here and then. But in general, I would have to listen too much to say about it. Besides, Sway Lee and Nav isn't the best way to use Sway Lee. Like I think Sway Lee and like a Future or a Sway Lee, why not just run the Sunflower Part 2? Like why not just have Sway Lee and Post Malone put out another track and just be like, hey, they came back again for this soundtrack. Like I don't see why that didn't happen. Maybe it was a money issue. Maybe it was like a Post Malone not wanting to do it issue. But at the end of the day, I think in general that he's definitely one of the better chorus makers in the business. And I think he shows that time and time again. So, anyways, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about Sway Lee's chorus making ability? And do you think Nav and Sway Lee is the best duo to put on this soundtrack? Or if not, which person would you place with Sway Lee to perform on this soundtrack? Okay, let me see. All right, cool. Um, all right, we got two more. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right, let's get into ASAP Rocky. Ain't no way we get into ASAP Rocky. What in the world? Why are we talking about this track? Oh, is it like a dance track? Let me see. Seems like it's a dance track. We're gonna find this out. We're gonna figure this out together. Whenever I start running out of beverages, that's how I know it's time to wrap it up. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, they just gonna show me the lyrics. They trying to be funny. All right, let me just type in ASAP Rocky's greatest hits. Something to talk about with this man. Let's just do the latest news. Because I think in general, like ASAP Rocky really being carried by being with Rihanna. Because in general, I don't really think like people really care what ASAP Rocky has to do. But like literally the news for ASAP is like, oh, he has a child with Rihanna, which technically, for people who are superficial, that's a huge achievement. But anyways, um, I mean, like superficial is like trying to live their life through ASAP. Like, oh, he got Rihanna pregnant, but did you? No, just play. Let me chill. My fault. My fault. All right, let's go now. Who would have thunk that we would be reviewing a track by ASAP Rocky in 2023? Now, all jokes aside, this man ASAP Rocky then put out a track called "I Am Dreaming," and I thought I was dreaming when I pulled it up to review it because the last time I talked about Rocky is when they was congratulating him on impregnating Rihanna to welcome their first child together, and now not only their first child, but they got their second child coming, which was announced at the Super Bowl when Rihanna was performing. And who was performing? Rihanna, because she's the draw and not ASAP Rocky. But not to hate on ASAP Rocky, because that's not what we do over here. We just pointing out that there's so many other options that Rihanna could have went with, aka the GOAT, Aubrey Graham, October's very own. But we're not gonna talk about that. We're just gonna focus on the music from ASAP Rocky because I guess Drake had his turn. I guess he blew it. But anyways, the "Am I Dreaming" track from ASAP Rocky and Rose Lee, I think Rosie. Man, it's a L or is it an I or L? I can't tell. I don't know. I can't read. But no, just joking. But I think it's just Rosie. Yeah, I can't tell. I honestly can't tell if it's an I or a L. So, anyways, it's more of like a dance hall type track. I think in general, when they was looking at it, it was more of like, hey, let's put this man with that girl making the dance hall type track, and that means it's gonna blow up, right? And I just think that's wrong because even though Metro Boomin previewed it, I think he's just really overestimating the song. Maybe he's not, but I think at the end of the day, Metro Boomin has a lot of faith in ASAP to put him so high on the compilation. But I guess we're gonna see how the song performs because in general, it is a dance hall type track. It comes with a lot of dancing. No pun intended. And well, I guess pun intended. That was kind of a force. But I think that in general, when you look at Rosie, you don't really know too much, but you look at ASAP Rocky and you only know him from Rihanna. So the star power on this track, I don't think is as potent as you would hope. But I do believe that they could come together to maybe come up with a summer anthem because I could see a dance hall type track blowing up in the summer. But we're gonna have to wait and see, as I believe that ASAP Rocky is only good for being next to Rihanna and looking serviceable to women. Is that pause? I don't know. But anyways, ASAP Rocky, in other news, don't want to just completely hate. He said he's set to release his new album, All Smiles, July 29th. And the album will feature guest appearances from Rihanna, of course, Tyler the Creator, and The Weeknd. So, he's probably going to be getting carried on his own album. It's probably going to be utter garbage, trash, probably going to be atrocious, honestly. But, we still have to wait and see. We ain't even heard it yet. And, yeah, we have to keep an open mind. Anyway, that stuff is gonna be garbage. So, anyways, click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about ASAP Rocky preparing to drop some trash on July 29th? But more importantly, what do you think of this soundtrack title, I Am Dreaming, from the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse soundtrack? And do you think ASAP Rocky dropped a heater or a straight dumpster fire? Dumpster fire made no sense. I don't know why I ended off the segment with that. All right. We're at the end, man. We're at the finish line. How y'all feeling? Y'all feeling good? Y'all enjoying it? Make sure to hit that follow button if y'all enjoying the broadcast so far. We've been going for 2.5 hours. So, if you will hit that follow button, much appreciated. I definitely covered I definitely cover hip hop and gaming news. Just recently, we surpassed 624,000 total downloads for the podcast in just under 6 months for Red Circle. And so if you want to join the masses, just type in Notorious Mass Effect on whatever platform you listen to podcasts on, or I made it easier on you. You can click my link tree in my bio, and then it gives you a direct link to whatever platform you listen to podcasts on. So, it's either or, type it in Notorious Mass Effect on your phone, or, use the link tree. So anyways, let's finish this up. Do I have this up? I don't have this up. Okay, let me take this. Let me take that. And then, yeah. Future and Uzi. Now, this one gotta be fire. Talking about all these other tracks on the album, except for the ones I think it's gonna be fire. You just love to see it. I am beyond hungry right now. Future and Uzi. Tracks together. Okay. All right, let's get it. Now, you already know that the Toxic King himself compared or collaborating with Mr. Uzi is going to be a track to remember. Because if you don't remember, these two have came together for 7 million in 2016. It was like a Perfect collaboration, first collaboration for Future and Uzi, and that one was just straight fire. And then they collabed for Paddock in 2017, which if you don't have a Paddock, I guess you can't listen to the song because they was just talking about their style and the braggadocious lifestyle. Then they came back together in 2018, titled Two Words. And it was more of a laid back type track, nothing too crazy. It was alright, but you know, it was really just a simple listen. Then in 2020, they collaborated again for Over Your Head, and it was more of a recent collaboration, of course, because we're in 2023, and the first time they collaborated was in 2016. So they've been knowing of each other for a while. Let's just say that. And the Over Your Head track is more of like a catchy type track. It's, you know, it has a nice little chorus, but that's really it. And I think two of these artists should have better music together, and I think that's why Future didn't go with Uzi to make a collab tape. I think that's why he went with Juice WRLD, and maybe Uzi was a little upset with that. Maybe Uzi was like, hey, I make good music too, like how come you ain't want to make a collab music with collab album with me? Future out here making collab albums with everybody and their mama, but he won't give Uzi one. That man went straight to Juice WRLD to make World on Drugs and looked at Uzi like he was just washed up. Like he was like, hey bro, how about you sit in the corner and I'm gonna make this whole entire album with this other dude who I think is just way nicer than you. So now that Juice WRLD's passed away, you know, RIP to Juice WRLD, Future's back collabing with Uzi. And don't think that's a stretch. 2019, Juice WRLD passed away. And there was a break between 2018 to 2020 when Future and Uzi did not collaborate at all. You think I'm reaching? Just look up the timeline yourself. So, anyways, they're back again with a collaboration in 2023 titled All the Way. And of course, this is a part of the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse soundtrack. Metro Boomin really did assemble the Avengers for the soundtrack, no pun intended. And they really kind of went crazy with the track listing, looking like a DJ Khaled type compilation, as the biggest names in the industry really came together to support Metro for the soundtrack. But are you really supporting somebody who's definitely giving the soundtrack for a movie that's gonna make so much money for Sony and probably will have so much backing for the soundtrack? You probably do want to put your name on it. So obviously most of these premier artists came because, you know, Metro's attached, so they know it's quality, but also they do want to get their name out there and notoriety, and they know money's going to be put behind this soundtrack. As if you don't know, Spider-Man is one of the, I think he is the most famous superhero of all time. So, you know, this movie is going to sell like hotcakes, and whenever a soundtrack is attached to it, that's just easy streams for whatever artist is attached to it. And so for Uzi and Future, they just going to put this track out and let the cash roll in. So click my link tree in my bio. Let me know on one of my social medias. What do you think about Future and Uzi and their fifth collaboration titled All the Way on the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse soundtrack? And do you think it was fire or trash? And alrighty, 2 hours and 34 minutes in, we are finished. So I do want to thank everybody who came through over at Kick and over at YouTube. Definitely saving the best for last. I appreciate everybody over at Wisdom content.